The Highwire Podcast.
What is up, man?
Oh, what's going on,
everybody?
Because we start this through Skype and we're running this through OBS and everything. Little inside baseball, but I feel like I'm always having like a Wayne's World moment where you're doing like a 3, 2, 1, but I'm never sure what that means anymore and what our signal is that we're live. But
we don't
live.
have
What's
a.
up? Highwire
It's honestly
Podcast.
lucky that we're both here talking to each other right now. To be honest.
Yeah. This could be like the news where we're always just like 20 seconds off from whatever you're saying. Though who knows?
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
What's going on?
Do it live.
Cameron and Mark here, Highwire Podcast. Mark, what's been going on this week or the last 2 weeks? We took a week off.
We did take a week off. I wanted to touch on a couple things that have been going on in the world since then.
This sounds serious.
No.
Segment?
It's just like concerts are back, live shows are back, right?
Oh, that's true. Stuff's happening in the world.
I saw this video of the Foo Fighters. They brought Dave Chappelle on to sing "Creep" with them. They did a cover of "Creep," and he nailed it. He's actually a good singer. Dave Chappelle is.
Who'd have thunk? How old is it? Is it recent?
Yeah, it's extremely recent. It's like post-COVID. So.
Weird. You'd think with all that smoking too, he'd have an interesting voice. I haven't seen it, but you were talking about it, and I did mean to check it out.
Look it up. It's honestly a really good cover. It's awesome.
Funny enough, I was watching just a Dave Grohl interview where he was saying he essentially kind of ripped off all of his drum beats in Nirvana from old funk albums.
Oh yes. What was the band? It was like
I can't remember. That's why I just generalized to funk. I couldn't
think it was
remember.
Gat Band. It's like an old
That
disco
sounds
band,
right.
like those.
Seems like you're watching the same social media stuff as me. Cool.
Cool. That's cool. Like you'd never expect it to be
TikTok
ripped off of like an old disco '80s album, but
that's always
sick.
super interesting. My TikTok algorithm has gotten back to just conspiracy, and again, not weird like I'm how to put not the weird harmful type of conspiracist.
Okay.
I'm more of like a JFK and Loch Ness monster, fun stuff. Fun creatures.
JFK, yeah, that fun shit.
Well, I mean that's the only political one I'll get into because it's the fun. It's crazy. That one's crazy.
I mean, would you care to? Tell me what you've been seeing.
Let
me sip some Kool-Aid.
Aliens, just mermaid bodies, UFOs. The UFO report came out. I'm not sure if you checked it out, but essentially it's 9 pages that says, I don't know.
I've got to give a big eye roll at anything mermaid. I really do. What was it? Discovery tried to do that one time. It was a big series.
Mark, you haven't seen what I've seen. Yeah, you don't know what I know. You haven't seen my TikTok in like a day now. So I mean, things have happened since then. What other world news is happening? You wanted to touch on?
Yeah, just from the past week. Cup snakes, they're back at Wrigley Field, and
sorry, what? Sorry,
cup snakes. It's where you take your disposable beer glasses at a baseball game, stack them all up, and just like let them fly. Apparently, like all the security, all the management at these parks are like pissed off about it. I don't know why.
I guess my question was I wasn't aware it ever went away.
Yeah, it seems like they always try to stop them when going on, but my whole thing is like, wouldn't that just make it easier to like pick up the cups after the game?
Make a mess and. That's true, actually. Yeah,
I don't know, like 10,000 beer cups spread out across the park seems a little harder to pick up than like them all stacked together in some sort of python shape.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there. Yeah, we never should have taken them away if they were ever outlawed in the first place.
I did see someone put out a caption about like how much like that beer snake, that cup snake cost like per beer. They're like doing the math and like this by foot, like it was like a $43,000 beer snake. Like that's how much beer would have had to like been purchased to make that happen.
What's the most expensive beer you've purchased at like an event? You don't have to call anyone out in particular necessarily, but like what
I'm going to call them out. United Center.
Okay,
that's an expensive beer there. It's like I think it's like an $11 like. Might be just a tall boy.
You know what? I think the surprising one that hit me, When we saw Third Eye Blind at Northerly Island, that like pop-up concert thing in the summer in Chicago, that's just like on the
Right.
lake, the drinks there were like a tall boy was going for like, I don't know, 20 some dollar kind of crazy bullshit, but like, you know, oh, I was willing to pay it and I did and I got drunk and it was expensive. Oh God, it
That's the
killed
thing
me.
about those sort of like outdoor festivals. If you're out in the sun sweating all that, like a Miller Lite, you're just gonna end up like pissing a bunch. That's all.
Well, that and you're just like down in a bunch because it's hot. That's like you don't. It's actually the best when like there was like 1 year where I properly saved up for Riot Fest. I was like, I'm gonna need a bunch of money for some tall boys and some like fried Snickers and some other crazy fair food and
I
street
remember that
tacos,
year.
and I just did. Yeah, it was like the last time we went before all the COVID craziness happened. It was a fine year. It was a fantastic year. We were full. We were drunk. It's fine. That's about it.
Man, pre-pandemic, what a time.
Mm. Mm. Any other world news or any news for you? What else has been happening with you apart from the world?
Um, just I don't know. Just been working a lot. Just band practice, trying to rev up for the live
That's
shows
true.
that we have coming up. Don't want to spoil anything too early, but we do have some things in the books, so that's fun.
uh, Doing little sneaky vocal warm ups here when everyone's at work, so I'm not just because I'm doing it with headphones too, so it's just literally me just like just like by myself in here too. So trying to make it like as less weird,
Sure.
as
Yeah.
possible.
I mean, you live in a house now, so vocalization is a little easier. I
True.
mean, an apartment where people. I mean, they
That's
can
true.
hear
That's
you.
true.
What's going
But
on?
also, you live also above Club Crawford, so I mean, they're bumping music, so you're just competing with noise, really. So it's
Yeah. If you
noise
hear
on
any
noise.
808s right now, it's not coming from my apartment. It's coming from down below.
Sounds like an innuendo. Mark, I got a couple of would you rather's. Do you want to move on to some would you rather's?
Sure. Yeah.
Doesn't matter because we're doing it. Number one, would you rather constantly have dry eyes, need eye drops, or constantly have a runny nose?
Hmm. Dry eyes
I'm
and
gonna
need
say
eye
off
drops.
the bat, the runny nose for some reason seems more annoying to me, even
All of
though
a sudden,
like
my eyes just got super dry. Out of nowhere. I
mine
need some
too. Actually,
Rotos or
funny
some
enough,
Visine.
Rotos. I don't want that burn. Clear eye, maximum redness relief. If we can get sponsored by anything,
That'd be the worst sponsor
yeah,
ever, by the way.
yeah.
Just some
Um,
eye drop company.
I feel like allergies and just years of being a pothead, I do just have dry eye. Just like I feel like I've dealt with that before, so I think I'll just keep
I've
going with
seen your
that and
nose
then just
drip
not
once or twice just from, allergies,
allergy
pollen.
related. Same thing. Yeah, it's hard to say. Crapshoot, which one are you going with on this
I
one?
think doing this all the time, like, dealing with handkerchiefs and tissues, that seems like a
Or,
big.
or you're a sniffer, or you're just the person. One wants to be
Yeah,
around
no one
that.
wants to be the sniffer, do they?
I'll admit I was kind of the sniffer when I was younger. Oh, what just happened here?
Oh,
Pledge just
you
came
just
on.
got.
I've been trying to link
Oh,
this smart light
here
for
we
like
go with the ghost thing
30
again.
minutes. Oh, this isn't Ghost. This is technology, Mark. This is the
Okay.
robots winning and
Okay.
taking over.
I
Because I've
appreciate.
been trying to get this smart light to turn purple and just turn down for like, I don't know, 20 minutes before we started. Let's see if this is the solution or if it's too creepy. Don't hate it.
I like your
I
little
don't hate
guitar
it.
nook you got back there with the GameCube.
Yeah. I just set up the little old systems in the office because I'll be less tempted to play some of those. Got some GameCube, got my Super Nintendo. Yeah, we got some things going in here now.
You know you're still gonna rock some Spider-Man 2 on GameCube.
Sure is. That's why it's in there, so I can swing around and write some new lyrics to some new songs. Would you rather be unable to have kids, or the only way you conceive, it's always a quintuplet? It's always a group of five.
Well,
Yeah.
shit.
Mm.
That's not on me. I mean, that's on.
Well, I think it's gonna be. I think I take no kids, right? Because one, it just seems like I'm asking my baby mama just to go through
Well, that's what
hell.
I'm. That's
That
kind of what
seems,
I'm getting at. Is like, well, that's. I mean,
yeah. I mean, it's still you're still gonna have to deal with a lot when they're born,
me
but it's gonna be
saying
a lot
I'm gonna
of.
have just like some quints, 5 kids,
Mhm.
4 kids. Like, I'm just gonna I'm gonna have some good swimmers.
You're just gonna start off right at the bat. It's just like I have a family and I'm done. You're one and done. And now I have a family of 5 kids.
Tie them tubes up, double bunny ears.
Yeah, I'm definitely done after that. I'm gonna say no kids. I think for me that seems easier than five at once, and just that seems like a nightmare for me.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, kids, you always want to say you want to have kids in the future. That's always something you want to say. But like, yeah, 5 at once.
Unless
That's tough.
unless I know I'm cursed, unless I know that's waiting for
Okay.
me, and I think that makes up my mind for me.
I might actually be with you here.
I think I got to go none.
Yeah, time up.
And that's pretty much all I have for Would You Rathers. I'm gonna try to not use up all my good stuff, in all these early episodes, and then I'll have to make up my own. I guess I should start making up my own. That's really what I should be doing. Stop just going on
Where are you grabbing these from?
on the internet. I just type "Would you rather" every time before an episode, and I just click a random link and scroll until I see something that seems fresh.
That's how you find those real stupid ones. It's like, would you rather get hit by a baseball or believe in Jesus Christ, God's only Son, our Lord?
I'll take that over the baseball. Sure,
It's
yeah.
like,
Seems a lot better. I have a category written in my notes that I've never filled in, just called TikTok facts. Can't wait to find out what that means.
Yeah, I mean, TikTok facts.
I don't have any yet. I think that's the problem. I think
Still
it's a bad
searching,
category
still
idea. But
searching.
I've gone through a lot of evidence. I'll say that much.
Oh, you brought this up to me maybe at a band practice a couple weeks ago. The Topher Grace Star Wars edit. Just run me through that again.
Oh yeah, this is interesting. So Topher Grace, if you don't know, he was like the nerdy main character on that '70s show. So apparently, I've never been, not to disparage against Topher Grace, but I've never been the biggest Topher Grace fan. But
I liked him as, I mean, what's his fucking name on that '70s show?
I can't even remember, honestly. I did watch it off
All I
and
can
on,
remember is
but it was never a huge.
Ashton Kutcher. Isn't it like?
Yeah,
I can't.
because
No, you
he
can't
was
remember his name.
Nope, sure can, but he was our Iowa boy, so we were kind of rooting for him. That was nice, still is. But Topher Grace has taken the first 3 Star Wars, and I'm not talking the old ones with like Mark Hamill and stuff. I'm talking the Phantom Menace, the Clone Wars, and Revenge of the whatever that one's called.
Something of the
point
Jedi,
is,
right?
Revenge of the Sith,
Oh,
maybe
no,
Return of the Sith.
Return of the Jedi is the old one.
Well, the old one, but I think it's something close to that where it's like a parody, but with Sith. The point is, Topher Grace has taken those first 3 movies that have kind of been panned and shit on, especially Clone Wars by me. I call it Sex Island. That's all that happens in that one. And Jar Jar Binks, of course. But he's taken those first 3 movies and he's edited it down into, I think they said like a 95-minute viewing. So he's essentially turned it into like an hour-and-a-half movie. He's cut huge portions out. But initial critics were like, actually, it's not hard to follow. It gets rid of a lot of bullshit. It's a very fast-paced movie, but it's kind of better than all 3 standalone, they think.
So it's just one movie that explains all 3, right? That is crazy. That is wild.
He just took all the major plot points that actually have to describe things, essentially, and then just took out a lot of the boring dialogue.
He didn't take out Jar Jar.
I think actually he entirely somehow.
I don't hate Jar Jar as much as everybody else does. I don't get it.
I'll say
Nisa don't hate Jar Jar, dude.
Rap. Well, I think that was maybe the problem, that it might have been some cultural shit that was going on, but I will say it didn't annoy me as much as a kid. But I was in for some wacky characters at that age. I was ready to believe in Jar Jar.
I mean, he directed stuff, right? He's directed stuff.
George Lucas?
Topher Grace.
Jar Jar Binks?
Jesus Christ. No, Topher Grace.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't know off the top of my head. Hey, Google, what has Topher Grace directed?
Interesting.
BlacKkKlansman. Here's a
Oh,
from the website
did he direct BlacKkKlansman? Hey, Google, stop. Please stop. Did he direct BlacKkKlansman? He's definitely in it. I'll look into that. Unverified. I can't trust Google. She's been giving me some wacky answers.
I don't know. I just thought it was like a weird kind of. I thought it was a weird person to be the one to front that. I don't know. I could see other people doing that.
But
it almost seems like fan fiction.
Actually, apparently he's a good editor. I did hear something that he's done some like good editing on movies, but he also just does seem like a Star Wars nerd to me, and I don't mean that in a rude way, but he seems like a big Star Wars fan. Looking at him,
Star Wars, Star Trek, or Lord of the Rings.
Me, or what do I pin him as? Actually, probably Star Trek, TNG, then I don't know. It's probably Star Wars, then Star Trek. No, maybe Star Trek, Star Wars, and then Lord of the Rings. I didn't really read the books. You really do have to respect the
Star Trek, fan base, but I think I'm a Star Wars
See, you got to Star Trek. You're born into it. My mom's a nerd. She was a Trekkie, and she really
I
liked
mean, the
Star Trek
TV
Next
show that's
Generation. So
that's
that's
it
why
was next level at the time. That's
it's on all my favorites on Netflix or Hulu or whatever it's streaming on because it's good background fodder. You just put it on while you're getting work done. Engage, Sean Luke.
um.
So I'm guessing Lord of the Rings is just bottom for all of us. You had the books at least. You got further than I did when the
I
movies
looked
came
at
out.
them. I looked at them on my bookshelf. I sat there and I looked at them. I didn't read one.
I think I borrowed your two towers. I'm not sure if I ever gave it
It's a
back.
tough read. It is a long, tough read.
A lot of characters, very describing in the beginning. I did try reading them before the movies came out, but I
Well,
never
because isn't the way
succeeded.
you go about it is like reading The Hobbit first, which is like that thick. You could use it as a
It's a
doorstop.
biggie. Then again, I did read the Harry Potters, but they are a little easier of a read.
What's funny about the Harry Potter books is they grow in size almost like from like the first one to the seventh part two.
And I feel like they really cursed us and made the fifth book the longest, and it's just the most painful. Nothing happens other than Sirius dying. Spoiler alert! But I guess if you haven't gotten there, I mean, like it's kind of on you. It's been like I don't know, 10 years or something.
They're going to sacrifice themselves.
Oh, dude, those TikToks of people doing Harry Potter quotes always get me. Specifically, that one girl that's doing the full "No, you can't." It's just spot
So
on. It's
funny.
perfect.
Those oh my god, very funny. If you've seen the movies, those TikToks, those will hit home.
I was too lazy, but I was watching the first movie the other day. Funny enough, because of all these TikToks, and I was gonna whip out my phone to get it for you, but I just didn't have. I just didn't have it in me.
That's wizard's chess.
Now, Mark, you did ask me about some conspiracy theories, and I do have
Okay.
one for you. Want to hear what my TikTok? Actually, I have a TikTok fact for you. Now that I really think about it, I got a TikTok fact.
I'm still
Have you
still
heard
very confused about the whole TikTok factoid.
things that I've learned through watching
Learned.
TikTok? Number
Okay.
one, Mark, have you heard any conspiracy theories involving the Titanic? That's even
What
like
they
a
didn't
no.
they didn't
There's
fuck?
two.
They fucked, dude. I definitely think they did.
Well, I'll chalk that as a solid maybe. So the theory behind this one. So J.P. Morgan, the person who financed and was behind the Titanic, you may also know him from J.P. Morgan, the banking financier. He's just a social elite from back in the day. Well, apparently there's two big ones. Number one, he purposely sank the Titanic to kill all of his competitors because literally all of his competitors were on the Titanic and died. So they think it was just one big like hit because he was actually supposed to also be on the Titanic. He had a ticket, and then very last second he didn't board and changed his plans. So there's some stuff behind that. And then
If
number
that's true,
two,
hold
have you
on. If
heard?
that's true,
Mhm.
that is crazy. That's like Ford versus Ferrari. Like Ferrari being like, yeah, come ride in this nice new
Well,
little thing I got here, and then it
well,
just
the conspiracy
explodes into
behind it,
smithereens.
a part of it being his competitors, a lot of them were also like other creditors and stuff. So it was also said that a lot of his bills were coming essentially due and all these huge like things he'd been doing. So instead of paying, he just killed everyone that he owed money to. And that I think they and his competitors. So it's like a 1-2 there. So he wasn't paying a bill and he killed off anyone
The
competing with him.
1910s were sick, dude.
Number two, also involving the Titanic. Have you ever heard of the Olympus? The Olympus was the sister ship to the Titanic. It was identical to it, but it wasn't as fancy. But the passage prior to this, the Olympus had already been in commission for a while, and it was starting to get a little dung up. And there was a previous accident on its journey. It's thought that maybe for insurance purposes, it was deemed that the Olympus was no longer seaworthy. So they took off the Olympus on the back, sprayed, like put the Titanic paint on it, put some of the fancier things aboard, and then purposely sank the Olympus to one, still kill all of his competitors and creditors. Two, the insurance money. They have a brand new ship that's seaworthy, and they got rid of the Olympus for money. And that's the whole thing behind the Titanic, that the Titanic never sank. It was actually the Olympus that sank for an insurance scam to kill everybody.
Don't you think
And that,
James Cameron would have been down there with like a paint scraper, being like, "Where is it?
he's been busy working
Where
on
is
10
it?"
avatars for like 20 years. Man, he's too much stuff going on with James Cameron. And that's TikTok facts for you. That's what I've learned from TikTok.
I don't know why. Anytime I think of like some sort of like ship departure, I think of what are those two old fucks from the Muppets?
Oh yeah,
Waldorf
oh
and
God, yeah, Waldorf.
Statler and Waldorf.
Statler and Waldorf. Yeah,
Because they.
the amount of times you've asked me this and I never have an answer for you, it's
Oh,
crazy.
oh,
I'll
oh,
remember
oh,
one day.
oh, oh. Classic.
Marley and Marley, if you will.
Yes. Yeah. From the
We're Marley and Marley. Oh,
Christmas Carol. Love that.
change. Uh, guess what? I got one more TikTok fact for you. I'm learning so much
This
this
is
week.
definitely a segment, by the way. TikTok facts.
So
Love this
you've
segment.
closed your eyes before and seen little floaters, right? Or you've been staring. You'll just see a little white floater, something like that, right?
Yeah, we all have astigmatism.
Have you tried? Over years, you've maybe thought like, oh, I need to flush out my eye. How do I get this out? Well, it turns out floaters in your eye, they're actually internal things in your eye. It's either blood vessels, protein particles, or other things that are actually part of the construct of your eye and therefore cannot move. And that's why when you move your eye, it's always in the same field of vision because it's literally
you always try to look
part
at
of
it,
your eye,
and it
then
keeps
it moves.
escaping.
That's because what you're seeing is just platelets, it's blood, it's protein, it's like just different things inside your eye.
I can't hear.
What I learned.
I can't hear floater without thinking of like a big turd or something.
Yeah, and I didn't like that TikTok didn't even say like eye floaters, but I knew what we all know what they were talking about though.
Oh yeah.
That's all I got for TikTok facts.
Oh,
but
actually,
I can't believe that I didn't notice that these were actual facts. They were under a different category.
So you're disputing these are facts, is what you're saying. Like that, like everybody listening right now, take this.
These
brass
are
tacks.
TikTok facts. These are
TikTok
facts.
facts.
They are unverified facts, Mark, through TikTok. They're things I've heard.
Oh, I almost don't even know. I have a TikTok fact, but I don't even know really how to explain it. It was like
Please go on.
it was this video I saw, and basically it was explaining this Baba and Kiki. I can't remember what it's called. Baba and Kiki.
The Lion King ripoff?
No, it's basically saying like when you see this image of a blob and this other image of some sort of like sharper object, you automatically associate the name like Baba or Babo to this one and Kiki to the sharper one just because of how the vowels sound. And it was just kind of an interesting concept that I had never thought about.
You're doing some fun auditory illusion stuff
auditory
on TikTok.
illusion.
I like
Correct.
I like where you're going. Cool. I like that. Trying to see the goddamn sailboat.
As far
Loving
as
it.
some pop culture to bring it to this week, did you know not even this week, this is just something they do. Did you know that they paint the Golden Gate Bridge every day?
What do you mean? Like they're constantly painting it, like how highway construction's always happening in Chicago downtown, but it's never done? Or?
There's somebody always painting the Golden Gate Bridge. It's a project that they work from, I don't know which way the bridge goes, north, south, east, west, but they'll move from one side of the bridge to the next pretty much throughout the year. And then because of the salt and the wind and the rain and everything that goes on, they pretty much just have to keep painting it back and forth. Like someone's painting the bridge right now.
Would you like that job? Could you do that if you're like, oh, every single day I paint a section of the Golden Gate Bridge? That's my job. I've been doing it for 40 years.
Your job's
just
never
paint.
finished.
No, you will never feel any completion. I think I'd actually love that. Well, I mean, I guess it's not a rain or shine. If it's raining, you can't paint the bridge, right? It just has to be good weather.
Yeah, like that seems wild to me that they just.
So my job is all weather pending. I mean, as long as the bridge is standing, I'm gonna have work. So that's pretty cool to know. It's pretty. I mean, I'm needed. Yeah, I think I'd be down with that job because I already kind of do mindless work where I just listen to podcasts all day.
That's
so,
a good point. Like you're always
sign
gonna
me
have
up.
a job. Like that's a great point.
Then again, you are on a bridge, so like if I have to pee or something, like I'm gonna have to jog pretty far probably to like my car to then like go somewhere.
Well, people jump off the bridge. You can't just pee off the bridge.
My mind does just go there, but I'm just thinking that I'm probably indecent exposure charge of some sort or something.
Yeah, I mean that's got to be a. Well, hold on, George of the Jungle. I think he swung from that bridge. I'm gonna bring you up George of the Jungle anytime I can.
You sure do. And if Small Soldiers works its way in here, cool. Even all the better for you.
Let's see if I can fit that in here somehow. Small Soldiers, Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out in 2025.
Ooh, it's a bit of a wait still.
Why did they tell us that? Why did they like? Don't even tell me that. Let me wait
Something to look
in
forward to.
like curiosity for like 2 more years, and then tell me.
I'm guessing there's still like game mods and stuff coming out, right? Because I feel like I've been seeing a bunch of the older Grand Theft Auto just like clips popping up recently. Or are we just getting interested because we know this date now, or have people just been playing nonstop this whole time? I mean, I
I
have
think
it.
people are asking questions, right? So like your Call of Duties come out like kind of on time each other year, each year, however they do that. It's like everybody's waiting for the next Grand Theft Auto, and they finally really gave people the answer, and it's like it's gonna be 4 years from now. Like
Eventually, we'll get there. Well, I've been seeing clips of the new like Real Engine 5 and the new processor on the new game systems and some of the lighting tests. Holy crap, games are looking real. I think I want to get some VR
did you see the
stuff.
one where it was like looking into an apartment and like the blinds?
Yeah, oh yeah,
Like,
the lighting. Yeah,
that looks like a real video.
yeah, I
That
saw
is
that.
crazy.
I saw another one of just like a female figure dancing in like low light through like just a window, and then at the end they were like, "Oh, and this isn't real, by the way." Mind blowing, crazy good.
What
lighting.
sucks about that is so like your favorite game, right, gets made by this engine, and then released 5 years from now, and then it's like, oh well, we're already used to that. We're always like looking forward to the next big thing, which sucks as just
The good
what
news
age
is though,
we're in.
I've always been like a game system or a gen behind like all my life, so like I'm pretty used. I'm just pretty cool with it now that I always get the new thing when it's nice
Sure,
and cheap.
that makes sense.
And also, I do the same thing with movies and series now, where I'm finally getting to the Mandalorian and pissing everybody off by talking about it. But it's my time now. It's my time for the
That's like
Mandalorian.
someone being like, oh man, Walter White, what a guy.
Yeah, I know.
What's he going
That's what
through?
I'm doing. That's what I'm doing to people right now. It's awesome. But that's what you get for always talking about. I do this to people, but I get it. Everyone's really into a series. So now I'm doing it to you when you don't care. And that's my punishment to the world. This is my manifesto. Thank you for joining this episode.
Holy shit.
Uh, hey, Mark, you want to hear some interesting, fun 4th of July traditions around the country that are going to be happening this
Actually,
weekend?
I do. 4th of July is coming up this weekend. Is it Sunday?
I believe so. Or Monday. Yeah, it's Sunday. So we got a couple things. This seems like an American standard, but you have the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest in New York at Coney Island. You have 10 minutes to eat hot dog and bun, as many as you can in 10 minutes. I always see the dunking in the
Oh,
water, and I get that like you want to absorb before your stomach does and stuff, but like the texture thing of a wet bun bothers me so much that I think honestly after like one of that I'd just be like, oh, like just gagging each time I put it
I've
in.
had like you've had an accident on the wet
Couldn't do
bun,
it.
right? Where you're like, oh, I spilled some
Hate it. Hate
watermelon
it.
juice or some Pepsi on the. Oh, this sucks.
Really does
There's,
bug me.
there's no
Texture.
way I can do that competitively.
No. How many do you think you could get though in 10 minutes? I'm not even saying like you're going for a record contest, but like I give you 10 minutes. How many do you think you could put down?
3.
I'd say 4. 4.
Okay. Yeah, I mean 4.
And I'm at-
and I have to
I'll say
prepare. Like
4
I want to
full
be
Chicago
hungry.
dogs. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to. I can't remember, but you're not supposed to starve yourself beforehand because then your
You're not
stomach
supposed to
can
starve
burst.
yourself, but I know a lot of the where I've heard
I like where this
I've
is
heard a
going.
lot of the eating contest guys like stretch their stomachs out whether it be like swallowing full grapes and just like practicing that feeling. They'll just literally swallow full grapes.
Does not seem like I've never been interested in getting into that. We have in Kentucky the computer trap shoot. It just said South or Northeast Kentucky, but this is where a bunch of people get together and with the trap shoot, the things that like launch the disc, and people can bring their old electronics out to just destroy for the day with a shotgun.
Oh, well, that's
and
fun.
so that seems real fun. So bring your old computer, bring your tablet, we'll fling it up and you can shoot it.
Trying to think what I'd bring out. Maybe that game box, a GameCube I see in the back. That was such a.
Ah,
That was
in the-
such.
In the move, I feel like I got a lot of the
No,
GameCube.
yeah, but I
Nah.
said game box like a dad, like oh that game box back there.
You know, that one was always kind of obsolete, so that one's a little understandable of a myth. But I did leave a lot of things in the move that I mean I've purged, so like I'm not really don't have a lot of things to toss. Hmm. I would definitely go to that one though. That one seems fun. This one is no longer in existence. It's no, it went on for a long time. I think it started, it said in the 80s up until like 2004. It's the Ocean Beach in California marshmallow fight. And every year after the fireworks on the boardwalk would initiate a giant, well, not like giant marshmallow, but like a giant fight of a marshmallow war. But apparently every year it just kept ramping up and getting more and more violent, and people were getting hurt, and they had to stop it. But wouldn't that be awesome just to show up to like 4th of July fireworks with a bunch of bags of marshmallows for a war afterward?
Are people throwing them, or they're like putting them in like CO2
I
canisters?
believe it's throwing, but imagine how hard you could whip a marshmallow, especially if it was like a little wet, just like whap. I bet it
See,
sucked
and
a
that's
bit, but
that's where people get a little crazy. Is they freeze them and they soak them in glycerine. I don't know
doesn't
what
that
they do.
seem fun and dangerous?
Does seem fun. You know what
I would
always gets a
definitely do
bad rep
that.
is sparklers. Oh, you're gonna poke your eye out. They're so
Who's giving that a bad rap?
Midwest
Although,
moms. My mom. I don't
I
know.
will, I will say though, there's been like 4th of July's where I've had like a minor to kind of it's not severe, but like burn, like sparkler burn.
Abrasion.
Held it too close. Yeah, just flew too close to the sun. Touched the stick too high.
I'll be honest.
Burn.
I'm so like small town Midwest. I don't mind those little kits from Walmart that you get that have the snakes, the sparklers, and just some snappy things.
They're good fun. I mean, you want to see something bigger pop, but like as far as like what I can safely handle and like drink a beer casually, I can deal with
I'll
that.
let somebody else's neighbor blow up like a trash can. Send it hundreds of feet in the air. Remember that?
We've done that. You I was about to say you're saying a memory. This isn't the hypothetical.
I'll let him do that, not
Uh,
me.
this one, tell me, lame or not, the Willimantic or Willie Manitic? I'm
You
not
trying to
sure.
say woolly
The point
mammoth?
is, I'm trying to say a place, but it's a weird place. Or I'm stupid, probably is more likely the answer. But it's the Boombox Parade, and it's a town that didn't have a marching band, so it's become a tradition now, where it's a parade of lots of like groupings of people holding boomboxes, and they'll be just all unison playing a song together.
What is that from? Did we just do that in like the 70s, 80s? Like we just held I don't know.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
have
I mean, I
headphones.
think it's
Like I
just
need to hear my shit right now.
just culture time. This is like you seeming like an asshole, being like, "What's that? A walk band? A disc band?" It's different. It was their disc band.
It's kind of like motorcyclists now that like they just have like radios that blast out to everybody.
Hear me out though, bullshit. Because I mean, okay, these helmets are expensive, the ones that have like the in ear
Sure.
stuff, but I've never gotten a motorcycle person who blares music on top of just being loud.
You've never understood it, or you've never heard of it.
Oh, I've heard it
That's
and I've seen it
okay.
a lot. I just don't get it. Why would you want to just add your classic rock station on top of it? It's just look at
I
me.
mean, it's
And if you're
it's
offended,
kind of a
I'm
look
sorry.
look at
And
me kind of
don't be.
mode of transportation, if you will.
That's true. That's
You
true.
are a motorcycle
And
enthusiast, so I think you're in good graces here.
but one that has never ridden one and doesn't have one. One who aspire. I've been going through an early midlife crisis since like 25. Just
It's like me with
it's my time to
it's
dream.
like me
about
with accordions. So interested.
What?
Just so interested. In them.
one. First, I've heard of this, but are you also equating it that like that's how you're dealing with your midlife crisis? Is like trying to get into the
That's
accordion?
how it would. Yeah.
I mean, I bought a violin. That could have maybe been my accordion. Too big of hands. I think I need a cello, but those are more expensive. Last but not least on my list here, I have lobster racing in Bar Harbor, Maine. This is like all out. If you don't want to get a lobster and race it, though, there's betting. There's on-site betting, so don't worry. There's fun for all to be had. That could be fun. I can see myself having a few pints and making a few bets on some lobsters.
What's that sounds awesome. Like I don't even know how you'd like bet on that. They've got their fucking claws like rubber banded up. Like
This
they're just gonna be slow as fuck. That's gonna
same way I bet on horses for that 2 seconds I got into horse racing. You just go with a gut feeling, Mark. You just pick a name that sounds
put
funny.
your $5 down on Ocean Buns. He's gonna win it all. I tell you.
Yeah, you got it. You know how to lobster bet. You get it.
I mean, what's your ideal celebration on 4th of July? Do you think?
Oof. Preferably a pool party. Shout out to our old friend Adam Harrington, our former drummer. He used to throw some pretty killer 4th of July parties. You know what? He just used to throw some pretty killer parties. I'll throw that out there. Let's not limit his partying. Pool party's always fun. Fireworks are always great, especially if it's like a local homegrown display,
Oh yeah,
because those are always
I mean, because these
dangerous.
guys go, especially if you live in a place where fireworks are illegal, people go out and spend hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars on these
Oh
displays.
yeah,
You could spend probably $500 on just one of those kind of displays that shoots out like 16 pop, 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 pop.
those like mortar
Yeah,
ones.
done
Now
in
this is
15
fun.
seconds.
You've done this with us before. Winnemac Park. This is an unofficial firework play. There's a lot of like parks in Chicago that just have unofficial firework displays where just citizens come in with whatever fireworks they have, and you just set them off. And they're usually pretty like semi to professional grade and scary and close. So like that's always fun and terrifying.
What's that? That was awesome. Winnemac, right? So it's like
Hmm.
almost like a baseball compound. You have different
Yeah, it's just like, oh yeah, a bunch of different
people go
fields.
light off their displays at home plate, even whether it's just some black cats or like a professional display. But there's no public restroom there, so everybody's just like piss.
That is the
Everybody's
problem.
just
There's
pissing
nowhere to
everywhere.
pee. Technically, though, I don't think you're supposed to be drinking per se, but let's say you're having a nice Soleil or a bubbly or whatever other brand is on sale at wherever I'm getting groceries, then, you know, I still got
Not
to
a
pee.
sponsored podcast, but
But I'll try my damnedest to get somebody to give me some free stuff. I'll take a shirt. I don't care. I love free stuff. That's all I have for my notes for this week. Mark, you got anything else to add in?
the Olympics are coming up. But who would know? Because I feel like they're doing a really piss poor job of like promoting it.
We were talking about this again. It might be just coronavirus. Maybe their marketing campaign and money just got switched from timing. But like, I feel like there used to be a huge buildup in anticipation for the Olympics, and I keep just hearing, like offhand, like, oh yeah, and the Olympics starts in 2 weeks, like on like just different broadcasts. I'm like, oh wait,
I've
what?
seen some
What?
trials going on, but like I don't know. I feel like there was
Yeah,
more
but even
hype,
that seems.
like just with the network. I don't know who gets Olympics. If it's everybody, or if it's just like if they trade
I don't know
off.
if it's switch. I think it trades. I think it trades
I would
off.
assume
But I
so.
think now did. But now with cable, like everyone had like coverage. Remember? Because like, what one was it? It was like it was before the China Olympics. What was the one before that?
So Beijing, then like London or something. No,
London or
that
Australia?
might have been after. I can't
I
remember.
can't even remember. But there was one where officially, like, I remember it hit cable and it was just always on. So I didn't really know anymore.
I think it
Hmm.
must have had to have been that they spent a lot of, and this is just speculation, just to spend a lot of their marketing money pre-COVID when it was
At the
supposed to happen.
yeah, or something. I don't know, but well, I'll still be tuning
Yeah, you got
in.
to tune in. Simone Biles, got to watch some Olympics.
Yeah, that's all kind of the problem because of the lack of ads. I don't know who to be. I mean, I'll figure out who to root for, but I don't know any of the names going in really.
The last thing I have is a flying car made its first intercity flight. Um,
I saw
made its first
that.
intercity flight.
Yeah, yeah, that was crazy. Was it the one that had the full? Okay, time out. I saw two flying cars this week. Are you talking? Are you? Excuse me. Are you talking about the one that had the fold-in wings and the straight up one that went from like a plane to a car? That one?
So we've all seen the videos of these flying cars, right? Over the past 10 years, like, okay, like we're doing this again. We're trying this out. And
Hmm.
it's just like, that's just a plane. What are we doing here? That's just a plane
Yeah, that ends up
that,
driving.
yeah, that clearly can't just drive on the road. That's not street legal. This one, which sounds like the one that you saw as well, has retractable wings. It goes out the gate of this airport and just starts driving on the highway. It's awesome.
Yeah, I saw that one too. It's pretty sweet. But I did see this other one. I think this might be a fake TikTok fact, but it was like the first submitted like car, like flying, just like hover car that has like a vertical, just like takeoff that was submitted, and it just
Oh,
looks like a future car.
how does it do it with
I
jets
think
or like propellers? Like it's a helicopter?
mm, seemed so futuristic that it seems fake. I'm gonna say that's a TikTok fake instead of
Remember when
fact.
they got us with that hoverboard like 5 years ago, and they're like, it got
Yeah,
me, got me.
yeah. Would have been cool. Hopefully soon. Hover technology. Get us there.
So we're gonna be on the lookout for a lot of those technological advances. But
I'll come at you with some more TikTok facts and conspiracies. But
yes, please do.
thanks for listening to the Cameron Jones Manifesto episode.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time.
Later. Happy 4th.
Happy 4th. Bye.